Good morning, everybody, and we are live. Fired up today, excited. We got a lot to talk about. A little bit about the Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden. A little bit about the Ellipse last night. A little bit about Ted Cruz. A little bit about here. Let's just get into it. Fill your cups. Grab a pen and paper. Let's do this. Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad to be here with you. We've made it halfway through another week. Folks, we are less than a week away from the election. We are 6 days out. Super excited. I have to tell you, I am fired up. I am fired up. Before we get into the political stuff, we got some news. This is political, I'll be honest with you, but y'all remember this guy, David DePape. Y'all remember this guy? This is his mug shot. He's the guy that attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband. Yeah, y'all remember back in the day, he was convicted on federal charges, was sentenced to 30 years. Well, they just finished up sentencing him on his state charges, and he got life in prison without the possibility of parole. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. Yes, that's how you deal with a terrorist. That is how you deal with a terrorist. Amen. Here you go, folks. This is to the California legal system. Why the feds didn't do that, I have no idea, but they should have. Attacked an elderly man with a frickin' hammer. It doesn't, even before you get to the fact that it was politically motivated, it was terrorism, it was, even before you get to he attacked broke into someone's home and attacked an elderly man with a frickin' hammer. Yeah. See ya. Glad to see. Enjoy your time in prison. He's not doing well in prison either. He's really not. Another little bit of news happened today. You know how the right wing just loves, they love Russia. They go over there, they do shows and tell you how great Russia is and how, my producer's getting into the act. Watch out for Gangster Kitty back there. She's getting into the act. They loved, they do. They just love to brag about Russia and how great Russia is and how much better. They'll tell you, you got Tucker Carlson going over there telling you that Russia is better than the United States. Remember that stunt he pulled, went to the grocery store and talks about how, the subways are so nice. And it was all a load of crap. And I mean, literally a load of crap. This is downtown Moscow. Day before yesterday. This made the news yesterday. This is I at first guess I said 12-story high plume, but if you actually count the floors on this building and then the top, that's a 15-story high plume of sewage. Yeah. Those geniuses over in Russia, they just really know what they're doing. They really, really know what they're doing, don't they? They know how to run infrastructure. They obviously understand that your sewage system will develop pressure inside it because of bacteria producing gases and literally a 15-story high geyser of shit in downtown Moscow. These are the people that Republicans love. And I couldn't think of a better metaphor. Can you? I mean, can you think of a better metaphor for Russia and the Republicans than a 15-story tall geyser of crap? Karma, fate, call it what you will, whatever your belief leads you to believe. What a beautiful metaphor. Speaking of a 15-story tall geyser of crap, let's get to the other little bit of news that's breaking. Those Republicans have been running the stupidest ads this election. I mean, they are about the dumbest crap. And old Ted Cruz here really thinks attacking transgender people is going to take him to the promised land. It's just going to take him to the promised land. And he's been running this ad saying that, all we Democrats, all we want is for boys to dress up like girls and compete in women's sports. And when he says that in his ad, he shows an image of two minor girls. Here's the problem. These are not, well, there are multiple problems, but this is one problem. These are not transgender athletes in his ad that he's showing. These are two straight girls that go to an Oregon school, and they didn't even get authorization to use their images in the ad. They just went out on the internet, found a couple girls running in track, downloaded it, and put it into their commercial. So now these girls are getting freaking harassed and made fun of and all kinds of crap because people, will be cruel, especially Republicans will be cruel. And the school district has had their lawyer fire off a letter to the Cruz campaign saying, take the ad down. You need to take the ad down. We have legal rights to that footage because we are the school. Take the ad down. I mean, just let that. So thanks for the support, Byron. I really appreciate you. I do. I really appreciate you. I couldn't do this without you folks. I say it over and over again. I will always say it because it is, I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. Thank you. But yeah, just let that soak in. The people that they have around them, the people in their campaign, there's a mentality to them. There's just a mentality to them. They shortcut it on the ad instead of doing the work. Instead of creating the footage themselves, they went and took someone else's footage. I get it. I'm going to play a couple of videos for you today with no sound because the people that created the videos took a song that belongs to someone else. It's their intellectual property rights. And if I play that on my show, I get a copy, rightfully so. God bless Google, the parent company of YouTube. They are hugely strong on protecting people's intellectual property. And God bless them for it. I mean, I really don't have a problem with it. When I catch a copyright strike because I screw up, my feeling is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Of course, the Cruz campaign is refusing to take the ad down, but because that's who they are. But think about that. I mean, really think about that for a minute. What does it take to just go get a picture of just two girls running, dub over it, monologue saying that it's transgender athletes competing in girls' sports? And that's before you get to the whole fixation on this in the first place. But they're just disgusting people. They're just, as Joe Biden said, they're garbage. They're garbage. Shaking my head. Thank you for the support. Are Republican voters concerned at all about the retirement or elderly care? Gullible. Amen. Amen. Yeah, I'm telling you, they're going after they've told you. They've told you. And every time somebody like me comes to, great comment, by the way. Every time somebody like me, I sit up here and I tell you, they're going to overturn Roe v. Wade. They're going to overturn Roe v. Wade. half of you, oh, it's settled law. It ain't going to happen. You're just being hyperbolic. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. Just like the thumbnail said, the inmates are running the asylum over there in the Republican Party. They're really going after Social Security and Medicare. They really are going after Social Security and Medicare. They are. Birth control, IVF. You know, we talked about it in the last show. The Attorney General from Missouri. Hold on a second. I'm thirsty. 1 second. Sorry about that. Waving that coffee up in front of my nose and face. I just needed it. I needed a drink. I'm a straight up coffee addict. I am. And thank you again. I just got the coffee the other day again, folks. If you don't tell me, I'm leery because I had somebody get their feelings hurt. I thanked them for a gift by name and they got their feelings hurt. So really, if you don't mind me calling you out by name, let me know. When you send me, you're so generous. You're so sweet. You really are. And I love the card, by the way. I really love the card. And the cup was amazing. Y'all know I collect cups. I have way too many cups. I do. And you know, I collect them. I got some of them up here. They sent me a really neat cup. I'll show it to you. I'll use it in the show. But if you don't mind me calling you out by name and thanking you by name, let me know in advance. Yeah. The strawberry jelly was amazing. It really was. We tried it on, I had mine on, don't call me crazy. I love an everything bagel with something sweet on it. So yeah, that's what we tried the strawberry jelly on. I loved it, by the way. Thank you. California love. Let's go Dodgers. Let's go to, man, did you see that crap? Since we're stopping for a second and taking did you see that crap? Did you see that guy go after Mookie Betts' glove? That's crazy. Crazy. I know we don't do a sports show. We're not going to do a sports show, but they had a couple New York fans. Mookie Betts was going up to catch a fly ball. They grabbed a hold of his glove. One guy ripped the ball out of his glove. They called it an out anyways, but that's insane. That is insane, people. That is insane. Well, look, let's get to one of the main stories of the show today. Yeah, y'all are incredibly smart, well-versed people. So we're going to play our game where I test you. Who's this? I know one of you is going to know. Who is this? Take a second to have a sip or two of coffee. No. Okay, y'all are missing it. That's Sigmund. That's not Sigmund Freud. I was looking at a comment. That's not Sigmund. This is Louis Pasteur. And yes, I was actually reading a comment. I was giggling about it. That's why I said it. This is Louis Pasteur, not Sigmund Freud. Yeah, Louis Pasteur. A really uncontroversial guy up until, I don't know, a couple of years ago. If you don't know who Louis Pasteur is, he was a biologist and actually a chemist by trade that dabbled into microbiology and changed our world. So he was back in the 1860s. He was looking for a way to decrease wine spoilage, and what he figured out is there are microbes in it that cause the wine to spoil. It's not controversial or anything, folks. And he figured out that if you just heat it, you kill the bacteria and stuff that's growing in it. And then the wine doesn't spoil like it did. So he invented pasteurization. And then he said, you know what? I bet this works on more than wine. And then the next thing they tried it on was juice. They tried it on juice. Yes, your juice is pasteurized. You don't have anybody out there screaming, you got to drink raw juice. You got to drink raw juice. No, your juice is pasteurized. Folks, it's just heating something up, slow enough and to a low enough temperature that you don't spoil the product, but high enough that you kill the microbes that are living in it, right? You wouldn't think that was controversial. Well, they started to go, let me connect the dots for you. The right-wingers have lost their crap, and they have decided that Louis Pasteur back in 1860 colluded with us Democrats today to get vaccines into your body. Because something Louis Pasteur also was concerned about was things like anthrax and cholera and, yes, smallpox and the diseases of the day that don't plague us anymore. So he was testing cholera on chickens because chickens were particularly susceptible. And again, he was more concerned about the food supply and having a good, steady food supply than he was anything else. And he found out that he was injecting these chickens with cholera and they weren't getting it. Turns out Louis Pasteur was, we're talking about the infancy of this study, wasn't particularly good at keeping bacteria alive. So he was injecting these chickens with mostly dead bacteria. Then what he noticed was they became very immune to cholera. Yeah. That's right. And the idea of vaccination was born. I mean, this isn't like mad science here, folks. It was literally just injecting chickens with cholera, most of it dead cholera, because they weren't, I'll say it again, weren't particularly good at keeping bacteria alive back then. They didn't have refrigerators around. They weren't readily available. This wasn't like a modern lab. And he found out, hey, you know what? If we do this to the chickens, they become immune. I wonder if this works on other things. Just like with pasteurization, started with wine, and then they moved to milk, and they figured out, oh my God, nobody's getting anthrax from milk anymore. Wow. Crazy, right? No, my friends, no. Because he was also pretty much what considered the father of vaccine, he is also the source of many, many, many conspiracy theories, and everything he did has to be bad. So you have these bubbas walking around that aren't scientists, that aren't doctors, that don't have laboratories, don't do any. As far behind as Louis Pasteur was back in the 1860s, they're even farther behind that. These are not people that are medically gifted or anything like that. Vanderpup, thank you for the support, man. Coming out with the big guns blazing. I cannot tell you how much I have learned from you and the right or die Democrats. Thank you, and Mrs. Texas Paul, for all your hard work. Hey, I love talking with you folks. I really do. So yeah, y'all understand, Louis Pasteur is now bad. Like Dr. Fauci, who spent his entire professional career protecting us from diseases, is now bad, right? So if Louis Pasteur is bad, pasteurization must be bad. And there's a whole craze on drinking raw milk. Raw milk. That is a huge thing. And you've got, of course, you've got Marjorie Trader Green, the elevator flatulator, who's jumped on this. Raw milk does a body good. Make America healthy again. Okay. I want to call your attention to something here. I want you to take a look at this. That glass has not had milk in it. She does not drink raw milk. Just like she came out and she, said all kinds of crap about vaccines and all. She's vaccinated. She is vaccinated today. I will wager money that she, like me, has the latest vaccine that just came out. There's a new COVID variant out. The name escapes me. One of you will know. I just got the latest vaccine that protects me for that. She is not drinking raw milk. She is not. Do not drink raw milk. The USDA tells you the FDA tells you do not drink raw milk. This is why. We've talked about it before. You know what a zoonotic, you folks know what a zoonotic disease is because you're part of this audience. Zoonotic diseases are what keep doctors and scientists up at night. All a zoonotic disease is a disease that starts in animals and then moves from species to species, eventually making it to humans. That's all it is. It's a spiffy name for a disease that comes from animals. We know, AIDS was a zoonotic disease. COVID was a zoonotic disease. We know because they're already existing in mammals, those are the likely ones. Those are the ones to watch out for. Those are the ones that really keep your doctors and these scientists up at night. Because look at COVID. Now COVID really doesn't affect us that much now. It doesn't. Yes, it still can. It can still be deadly, just like the flu still can be deadly. But it's not like it once was because our bodies have become immune to it to a certain degree. Even the newer strains, we are somewhat immune. And thank God they have vaccines. And I'm going to stop for a second. Hey, thanks for the support, Jamie. I really appreciate it. Mr. Wiskowski, I appreciate it. Look, vaccines aren't magic. They aren't. Did you know the human genome, we've mapped the human genome. Did you know the human genome is almost 8% virus? Yeah, it is. I'm not kidding. You Google it, look it up. The human genome, we found out we're almost 8% virus. Yeah, because of how viruses work. They travel into your body. They rub up against a cell next to the receptors in your cell. They attach to them. And then a virus injects its DNA into the cell, takes over the cell, and causes that cell to manufacture more viruses. Shaking my head, says, my God, another Trump administration will literally kill us off. Exactly where I'm going with this. Exactly. Marcia Klepper. That's one of my Texans right there. Producer needs treats. No kidding. She that's what she's in here for. That's what she's in here for. Gangsta Kitty's in here for that. But look, I don't want to glaze your eyes over or anything like that. It's really simple. Viruses enter your body, they butt up against a cell and inject its DNA into the cell. How does that end up as part of our genome? Okay. It's not a stretch. Barbara Lanke, sure, just a little E. coli in your milk causing kidney failure is just fine. Yeah, it's literally doing that to people. McDonald's onions, undercooked onions at McDonald's just killed several people, right? And they're out there drinking raw milk. Come on, people. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. All right, let me wrap this up. Let me land this plane. Viruses, okay, butts up against the cell, right? Injects its DNA into the cell, into the nucleus of the cell, takes over the cell. The cell now reprograms, starts making viruses. That's how viruses replicate. That's how they reproduce. Now, there are parts of your body that your immune system, best way to put it, I want to keep this really simple. And this is really simplified, folks. This is not okay, this is very simplified, but it is accurate. Your body, your immune system has, part of it is like laser guided bombs. Part of it is like smart weapons, very finite. It's like a scalpel. And then part of your immune system is like a 2,000-pound bomb that they use to carpet bomb something. Okay. That feeling you get when you're sick isn't the virus. That's your own body making you feel that way. It elevates your temperature. Why? Because it makes it harder for viruses to reproduce. That's why you get a fever. Really. No kidding. And the symptoms you get, the runny nose, that's your body's own reaction to try to flush that virus out of your system. All of that. The coughing, that's your body trying to eject that stuff. That's your body's reaction to it, folks. That's not the virus making you feel that way. That's your own body, right? There are parts of your body, though, that there used to be people that whose privileged tissue is the word we're looking for. Privileged tissue. Privileged tissue is places like the brain. Privileged tissue are your eyes. It's your testicles. It's your ovaries. When a woman is pregnant, your entire uterus becomes privileged tissue. And what that is that tissue will not respond or play nice with your own immune system. Because the people whose tissue didn't do that didn't survive. When they got sick and the virus because the virus goes all over your body, folks. It goes all over your body. And it got into your eyes, your own immune system blinded you because it was carpet bombing and killing that tissue to kill the viruses, to keep it from replicating. So the people that survived, reproduced, we evolved because the ones that survived were the ones that had privileged tissue. That's why you still see ads for HIV drugs. You've probably seen one of these ads, talking about keeping you undetectable. They cannot cure you of HIV. They can't. Because that virus, they can't cure you of herpes. They can't. That virus will live within you. Those of you that get shingles, that is the herpes virus that you were affected to, has lived in your brain, your eyes, your testicles, somewhere within your privileged tissue. You get where I'm going with this? You get where I'm going with this? Proverbs, keep up the good work. I appreciate you. Thank you. Sorry about that. Pouch is human. Thank you for the support. I recommend I Contain Multitudes, the Microbes Within a Grander View of Life by Ed Young. Hey, check it out, folks. Check it out. Pasteurization just took a combo of COVID and this year influenza. So, me too, bud. Me too. Just a few days ago. Since I meet my old mom and dad often, love from Sweden. Glad to have you here, Mr. Thyron. Is it Theron or Thyron? Let me know. Theron or Thyron? Let me know with a capital I if it's Thyron. I like to pronounce people's names properly. Thank you for the support. All right, that's where I'm going with that. Okay, that's it. The class is over. I'm not going to make your eyes glaze over with this shit. You don't need to know that because we've got doctors that handle this, that take care of it. They do things like tell you, don't drink raw milk. These are the people that do it, the FDA. And the FDA are telling you, hey, you know that avian influenza that keeps killing all the flocks of chickens and pisses you off because it's making the egg prices go up every few months? That avian influenza? Yeah, that's in cows. That's in cows. And it is everywhere in cows. And when you milk a cow that has been exposed to avian influenza, you're drinking a fuck ton of bird flu. Yeah. But follow me here. If we pasteurize the milk, it kills the bird flu. Yay, Louis Pasteur. Victor, I appreciate the support, my man. You people are really, really backing the show today. Thank you. Thanks, Mr. and Mrs. Paul. Glad you enjoyed the gifts. So proud to be part of this community. Hey, all right, man. It was the Harshmans, by the way. They were the ones that sent that. Really loved the jam. I really did. That was great. And I love the cup. That was a great cup. That was a great cup. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. And the card was beautiful. It really was. Jeff Schuler, fun fact, microbes make up 15% of the Earth's biomass. It's second behind plants at 80%. Yeah, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. And the FDA is telling you it's in your cows. It's a zoonotic disease that is, and I'm going somewhere with this, stick with me. It's moved from birds to cows to humans. Yeah. There's been a case right here in Texas of bird flu, put a guy in the hospital. Yeah. It's making that leap because viruses evolve just like we do. That's how 8% of your genome ended up being a virus. It's different viruses that our ancestors had that injected into our DNA, and then we bred, and that DNA was still in there. So yeah, there's a lot of your DNA that's pretty useless that your body just, ignore that. Yeah. These fools are out drinking raw milk. And I'm going to tell you, this is nefarious. This is not, and I'm going somewhere with this. This is not just some dip craze where some Yahoo from Nebraska wants to sell some raw milk. No, that is not what it is. It's actually pretty damn nefarious. Let me show you a tweet. This is from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This is a real tweet. I confirmed it. It was sent on October 25th of 2024. FDA's war on public health is about to end. Okay, the FDA has no war on public health. This includes its aggressive suppression of psychedelics. Yeah, they really, really don't like you doing the PCP and the angel dust. They really don't. Peptides, stem cells. Oh my God, people, come on. Do you think the FDA is suppressing stem cells? My God, the government is funding all kinds of stuff because stem cells are so damn promising. If you don't know what a stem cell is, folks, you have cells all over your body, more concentrated in some places than others, that are what it's called a stem cell. It's a cell that hasn't been triggered to turn into a specific type of cell yet. Okay? You follow me? Think of it as a generic cell. Your body puts it in contact with a chemical. That chemical triggers that cell. It becomes a certain type of tissue in your body. What they figured out is that people with neurological diseases, because, your brain doesn't grow back. That goes back to that whole privileged tissue. Your brain doesn't grow back. So if your immune system attacks your brain, all that you lose from your own body killing it, you don't grow back. What they figured out is that if you inject stem cells in, triggered with the right chemicals, you can grow neurological material back. They've got people that were paralyzed that are now starting to walk. This is some of the most beautiful, inspiring, awesome research there is in the medical field. And no, the FDA isn't suppressing it. They are funding it to the hilt. To the hilt. Mr. Thin, good to see you. I fear when the monkeypox arrive, when the attitude is like the anti-vax is spreading. Yeah, monkeypox is another one out there. I'm actually more concerned with avian flu than I am monkeypox. I really am. Because that was already made the jump to humans. Alto Eager, remember the original stem cells discovered were embryonic. Yes, that's where the right-wing hysteria started, I believe. Yeah, absolutely. Because embryos have to grow into humans, there are tons of stem cells, but they found other sources for them, folks. They have. There are tons of stem cells in embryos. So whenever somebody would go in for, in vitro fertilization, the embryos they would not use, they would harvest stem cells out of. And the right wing is losing their freaking mind about it. But yeah, let's finish what we're talking about. His raw milk. There we go. Hyperbaric therapies. Yeah. You know what a hyperbaric chamber is? You know what happens to a human being if you're in a hyperbaric? Hyperbaric is just high pressure. That's all it means. You know, like divers when they come out. One of the worst accidents I ever read about was a set of divers that were working on an oil rig, 3 of them, moved into a high pressure chamber for their slow reclimatization so they could go from the bottom of the ocean back up to the surface. And the latch was screwed up. So a guy went to fix it while it was pressurizing, and he ended up unjarring the latch, and they immediately lost pressure. And 3 people were blown out of a chamber, out of a crack that wide. Yeah, there was, it was literally just use your imagination. Yeah, you don't want idiots playing with hyperbaric chambers. You don't. And chelating compounds, ivermectin. Oh my God, we have a damn syndrome now, a whole new disease because of these morons playing with ivermectin. Forgive me. It's called ivermectin syndrome. It's people that go out and take ivermectin and they crap their stomach lining and their intestinal linings out, and it won't grow back. They end up on colostomy bags because of people playing with ivermectin that don't know what the hell they're doing. This is RFK Jr. telling these people this: vitamins, clean food, sunshine, exercise, nutraceuticals. There it is right there. It's the hokey shit that they want everybody to be able to sell you, that the FDA says, you can't do that. Can't be patented by pharma. If you work for the FDA, and here's where the 2025 project comes in. Listen to these words. This man told you himself. He wrote this down for you to hear. If you work for the FDA and are part of this corrupt system that's, keeping you from taking ivermectin as an antiviral when it's not an antiviral. If you work for the FDA and are part of this corrupt system, I have 2 messages for you. Preserve your records, and 2, pack your bags. Yeah, that's exactly what the 2025 project says it is going to do to our DOJ. It's going to do it to our military. It's going to do it to the FDA. It's going to do it to HHS. It's going to do it. Folks, how many times have you cooked a steak and thought, this is going to kill me? This is the example I use all the time. When's the last time you cooked a steak and thought, this is going to kill me? Never. Never in your lifetime. Why? Because we inspect meat. We have regulations. We enforce those regulations. When's the last time your kid or your grandkid had a fever or a stomach bug and you gave them medication and you were genuinely afraid that medication might kill them? Not in your lifetime. That really used to be the case, folks. It really used to be the case because people will do awful shit. They will. They will sell you stuff. Trina Longa, thanks for being here. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. But this is a big deal, and this is why. This is why. Prepare for your heads to explode. Yeah. There's your 2025 project right there. RFK Jr. said Trump promised him control of HHS and the USDA. Yeah. No. RFK Jr. is a nut. He's been a fringe nut forever. He has always spun all of these conspiracy theories. He is popular with the right wing because Trump failed at COVID. Because Trump failed at COVID, they had to attack vaccinations. And because they have to attack vaccinations, they have to attack Louis Pasteur. And now they're drinking raw freaking milk. And this guy preaches it. and he is going to run our government if you don't get your ass out and vote. Mr. Knudsen, question, horse dewormers for horses for humans. Yeah, no kidding, right? Right. You know, there is a variant of ivermectin for humans if you get worms, but it's in human doses. Yeah, and they're eating it. Mark Wagner, thank you for the support, but man, I appreciate you. And the guy that is their biggest cheerleader is the one that Trump is going to make head of HHS and head of the USDA. And I'm going to ask you again about, have you ever worried about eating a steak and having it kill you? Have you ever worried about medication killing your kid if you give it to them? What's going to happen when bird flu makes the big leap? And it is. It's already starting. They've already had some cases. And if it's not bird flu, it will be something else. It just will. That's what viruses do. But yeah, this is where I'm telling you it's nefarious. Okay, folks? Robert F. Kennedy Jr., before Trump elevated him to try to steal, because his last name is Kennedy, they thought he would steal votes from Democrats. Before Roger Stone and those guys elevated RFK Jr., he was already talking. And everything he was saying are Putin's talking points. He sat there and said in an interview that Putin invaded Ukraine because of us. We did it. It was our fault. It was our fault that Putin invaded Ukraine. Yeah. He has been on Russian talking points forever. And I'm going to tell you something. The few folks that we have seen and caught taking those checks from Russia, that ain't it. That ain't even close to it. No, there's a reason people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and RFK Jr. and the rest of these nutballs repeat verbatim what Putin says on RT, Russia Today, Sputnik, everything that comes out of Russian propaganda. There is a reason these people repeat it. And it ain't because Russia's a great place. No, Russia's the kind of place that creates geysers full of shit in their capital city. They do it for the money. They do it for the money. And they're willing to kill your kids to do it. You just saw that picture that was on Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal Twitter feed. She ain't drinking raw milk, people. But she's telling you to feed it to your kids. They're all linking to videos of these dumbasses out in the Midwest telling them, Iowa, where my family's from, Wisconsin, where my family's from, telling people, drink raw milk. It'll cure asthma, cures childhood asthma. I'm not even kidding. But that's how the 2025 project looks in real life. It's no stretch. You just put RFK in charge and fire everybody and let them sue. And we no longer have a functioning government anymore doing what our government is supposed to do. And it's not just RFK and the USDA and all that. No, their campaign has come out and said they're backpedaling on this right now. They're backpedaling hard, like they're riding a unicycle backwards right now. Trump is considering halting federal grants to police that decline to participate in mass deportations. Yeah. Your local police department lives on federal money. It does. You know, all that money that you pay in taxes, it's a shell game. Most of it's just a shell game. It goes to the federal government, and the federal government sends it right back to your jurisdiction so that your local Republican, like here in Texas, doesn't have to tell you, yeah, I tax the shit out of you. I do. I tax the shit out of you. And what other people tax you, I keep telling you, them people are bad for taxing you. Well, I get that money too. That really comes back to me. Your local police department relies on federal funding. It does, to meet its bills. I guarantee you it's 10 to 15 to 20% of your local police department's budget comes straight out of the federal government. And Trump is going to do to the police departments what he tried to do to Ukraine, and he's going to blackmail them. He's going to tell them, you set up the camps. You do the mass deportations of people exactly like I tell you, or you don't get your money. And they told you out loud. Now they're trying to backpedal and put the shit back in the horse, but you can't. The internet is forever, people. The internet is forever. And this was just a couple weeks ago they said this. Amanda says, can you explain to me why Elon Musk is still our top government contractor? He's another one of Putin's puppets. No, I can't. I cannot. I can't. Money. That's it. That's money. NASA decided to do the very stupid thing of privatizing. And now NASA is screwed if they get rid of SpaceX. That's it. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. Alan Gardner, the only person who wins if Trump wins is Putin. Not just Putin, Iran. I'm going to tell you something. Just a little bit of breaking news came out of NBC today. You know that guy that's setting the ballot boxes on fire? The incendiary devices said free Gaza on them. Yeah. ABC just reported that. You can check it out. I'll look it up for you if you really want me to show it to you. I'll do that. Give me just a second. Matthew Preble, is MAGA on the domestic terror list? It should be. Should be. And again, it's not attacking the Palestinian people. It is just a simple fact that Iran is an agitator. Iran spreads propaganda. Iran spreads misinformation. And we have somebody that we love dearly. We do. She is a wonderful person. She's one of the sweetest people you'll ever know. And she fell hard into this. And she is going to vote for Jill frickin' Stein. And I cannot change her mind. I cannot turn her head. She's going to vote for Jill Stein over Gaza. Over Gaza. And I keep trying to explain to her, folks, this is really simple. Joe Biden cannot go scorched earth on Bibi Netanyahu. We're in the middle of an election. He's already putting pressure on Israel to stop this. Elect Democrats and we will stop it completely. But right now, if we go scorched earth on them, we lose the entire Jewish vote. Not the entire Jewish vote. That's the wrong way to put that. But we lose a large section of the Jewish vote that would normally vote Democrat. So they're going to try to do this deftly. They're going to try to do this the smart way. If you do what you're talking about doing and you vote for Jill Stein and Trump gets elected, Gaza gets decimated. There's no one to put a check on Bibi Netanyahu. No one. You will get your genocide if you elect Trump. You will. So what the hell are you doing? And folks, you know it's funded by Iran, and it's Iranian propaganda, because these people never show up. Never. Forgive me, I got a bit of a catch in the back of my throat. These people never show up at Trump events and scream about Gaza. No, they're funded by Iran to attack Democrats. That's why they only show up at Kamala Harris events, not Trump events. And it's the exact opposite of what will actually help the Palestinian people. Anyways, I don't want to get side railed on this. This isn't what the show's about today. But yeah, For Christ's sake, if you want to help the Palestinian people, elect Democrats. We're the only people that will put a bridle on Bibi Netanyahu. And hopefully get him run out of office. Spicy Jester, Jesus never spoke with hate and division. Trump and his billionaires use hate to keep us divided. Wake up, folks. Great. United we stand, divided we fall. Amen. Thanks for the support, Ann. I appreciate you. Randy Oliver, Trump's out for revenge. He doesn't care about anything else except himself. No, he doesn't. And they think they can control him. How many people can you give $1 million bribes to for $1 billion, which is $1 billion is 1,000 million. All right, folks. Speaking of Elon Musk, now that you brought it up, we're going to change the order of the show. I want you to see this. I'm not going to play the ad for you because it's freaking disgusting. But yeah, Elon Musk, this right here. This is Elon Musk's PAC. He funds this PAC. And yeah, just like little teenage boys, they run the whole ad saying, Kamala Harris is the C word. You know what they're saying there, right? You know what word they're implying, right? And then the last little ad, they say communist. No, that's not what they meant. They wanted to call her, and that's why they did it. And they think it's funny. They think it's cute. That's what Elon Musk is. He's a freaking teenage boy that never developed, that never processed fully. And that's what his PAC is doing. They're out there calling Kamala Harris that. But they're having a fit and falling back in it because Joe Biden called them garbage. He didn't call all of them garbage. He didn't. He just said the people. Anyways, that's for later on in the show. I want to tell you, this is why they're trying to take down TikTok. This is fantastic. We're gonna take a look at this for the transition into the rest of the show. I want you to watch this. They're talking about well, here, we'll talk about it after on the backside.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. I just don't know if I'll be able to own a credit card without my husband's permission in 7 days.
Oh, did I get too political? My bad. I just don't know if I want to get rid of overtime in 7 days.
Oh, I've gotten too political? My bad. I just want to make sure I have access to birth control in 7 days.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. I guess I don't know if I'm going to be a U.S. citizen in 7 days.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. I'm just worried I won't be able to love who I love in 7 days.
Oh, did I get political? My bad. I just don't want my mother to be denied her health care because she has a pre-existing condition.
Oh, I'm being too political? My bad. I'm just fighting for the future of my daughter.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. It's just that I don't know if my family in Western North Carolina will be warned of the hurricane coming in 7 days when the National Weather Service is gone.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. I don't want them to start rounding up immigrants to deport in 7 days.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. The only reason I have a daughter is because of IVF.
Oh, I got too political? I just don't really want JD Vance tracking my periods in 7 days.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. I don't want Trump to take over the Board of Education, put in his lackeys, his loyalists, and have y'all continue to think that Puerto Rico is not a part of America. Open the schools.
You got to love it. You have got to love it. You have got to love that. That's why they hate TikTok, folks. These people are the country. That is the way the country feels. And I have to tell you, you're starting to see the stories break. You know, the corporate media has been trying desperately to make this look like a horse race. There are some Republican pollsters out there that are saying the quiet part out loud. They're saying, Jesus Christ, 20% of Republicans are voting for Kamala Harris. Yeah, they're figuring it out. They're figuring it. And the news stories are changing. They're talking about you've got the talking heads already spinning well, if he loses, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. You got the biggest out there, these right wingers that talk about the most awful crap that turns people off, talking about, oh, it's women. It's women. Blame women. Blame women. Yeah, not even kidding. Not even kidding. But folks, you cannot take your foot off the gas. No matter how good you feel, you cannot take your foot off the gas. And I hope I don't get a strike for this. They've got a YouTube channel. This is the Good Liars. This is a clip that's going around on social media. But I'm going to play it for you anyways. And I keep my fingers crossed. But they're fantastic, by the way. If you're not following them on YouTube, you need to. It's the Good Liars. They're fantastic. They really are fantastic. They go around talking to Trump supporters. They do. And I want you to hear this. I want you to hear, this is the conspiracy theory about the hurricane that the right-wingers pushed out. And I want you to hear how deeply this is penetrated.
Not our friends, sir.
What do you think happened with the hurricanes that happened in?
Hurricanes? I think that they want the land. You know, I think that the government wants the land, and this is what they did.
But what do you mean what they did?
They made a fake tornado. Right. Yeah, they planted whatever they do. They manipulated the weather. The weather, exactly.
But you think the government manipulated the weather?
I think the government is not our friend, sir. The government is not our friend.
Do you think the government created the hurricane to hurt the United States?
Absolutely. Not to hurt the United. They want the land. They want the land for the what is that? The batteries, uranium stuff, whatever it is.
Lithium?
The lithium.
The only reason I know that is because another lady at a Trump rally told me.
Oh, they know. You don't know? You don't watch the news? You know.
I do watch the news. Yeah. Do you watch the news?
No, not all of it.
What do you think happened with?
Folks, yeah, no kidding. Great point. Yeah, they have no idea. You think that lady understands how the agricultural industry works? No, not any clue. The conspiracy theory that took hold, and the reason people are not cooperating with FEMA, and see, they want this to be a failure. They had their Katrina. They wanted our last hurricane to be our Democrats' Katrina. So they were willing to do anything and say anything to make that happen. So they spread a conspiracy theory that the government wants you to lose your home and your land because they want the lithium that's underneath it. Folks, lithium is not rare. Lithium, hear what I'm telling you. Lithium is not rare. That is a lie that people that were opposed, that worked in the petroleum industry, that in the auto industry, when they were opposing electric vehicles, that is a lie and a talking point that they spread constantly, saying we can't have electric vehicles. We don't have enough lithium. Well, yeah, that day, because we didn't have a need for the lithium. So no one was out mining for the lithium. Lithium was only a small portion of the battery industry. Lithium-ion batteries were not the predominant battery. The minute the electric car industry took off, there's freaking lithium everywhere, guys. This is not rare. The mining infrastructure is now in place looking for lithium. It's freaking everywhere. But these people heard a talking point a long time ago. They just found another massive, this one deposit of lithium in Arkansas has enough lithium in it to fund our global needs, to fulfill our global needs for the next 20 years. That's every need worldwide. That one deposit. And they're everywhere. Because I'm going to say it again. Lithium is not rare. It's like saying silicone. Silicone is not rare. No, the government doesn't have secret weather technology to create hurricanes and send them at your house because they want the lithium underneath it. No. And this lady, did you hear her full-throatedness? Yes, there's lithium everywhere. There is. There's lithium everywhere. Yeah. Metagetta. Lithium is found in sedimentary formations all over the world. Everywhere that there used to be an ocean covering the land, there are lithium deposits. I was just reading this comment. I said silicone. Yeah, it's everywhere. I saw what I get it now. You got me. That was a good one. You got me. But yeah, folks, that's what we're up against. Again, this is why you have to vote. You have to vote. That lady is voting. She is, man. She's telling anybody that will listen, the government, they're trying to get people off their land in North Carolina and Kentucky so they can get that lithium. You got to vote, folks. You've got to vote because she's going to turn out. I mean, she is going to turn out 100%. And I got to tell you, they are that crazy. They're that insane. And anyways, before we get to the last story I wanted to talk about, you remember the last show where I asked you, hey, please watch the rally, the Trump rally. Please. I know I don't like to listen to Trump. You don't like to listen to Trump, but pretty please listen to the Trump rally in Madison Square Garden. Was I right or was I right? There was no way in hell this is not what this rally was going to be. They could have held that rally anywhere. They could have. They could have held it anywhere. They would have been more successful in more. They're so freaking insane. They're saying 100,000 people went to this rally. Folks, the Madison Square Garden holds 19,500 people. That's max occupancy, 19,500. Yeah. But they're saying 100,000 people. They magically got 100,000 people into the Madison Square Garden. They're liars and they're insane. They picked that venue on purpose because they were recreating that 1939 Nazi rally. And I knew this is what it was going to be. Because what was the point of doing it there if you aren't going to be a bigot and you aren't going to be a racist and you aren't going to throw that pitch out to your core base and have a big celebration saying, hey, racism is okay. Lisa Kiefer, thanks for the support. You guys have come out guns blazing today with the support. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. That rally was a setup for post-election violence. That too. It is to energize the base and tell them everything you do is okay. It was. And you know, I've got the clip for you. I got the clip for you. Here you go. When I play this, I want you to listen to the crowd cheering.
You guys are, this is a groany, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. And these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside just like they did to our country. Heck yeah, it's a cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that? A lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome.
Yeah, and you hear that crowd just a cheering. And those same people are whining, butthurt little babies today because President Biden said that those people that were there cheering that racist crap, calling Puerto Ricans garbage, saying that black people carve watermelons for Halloween, attacking Latinos in particular. Joe Biden said those people cheering that crap are garbage. Those are the people that are garbage. And they're playing the victim and high freaking C. Oh, he called us garbage. Oh, let me faint. Yeah, because you're garbage. You're the ones cheering that crap. Because you're garbage. On the other hand, and you know, the funny part is they're trying to say they're trying to walk it back. On one hand, they're trying to say, we didn't even know the guy. We didn't know what he was going to say. Really? You loaded it in the teleprompter? If you didn't know what he was going to say, why did you tell him he couldn't call Kamala Harris the C word? Because that's what he was going to do. See you next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. A lot of you ladies know what that means. He was going to call her that in that trope. And they told him he couldn't. And now they're trying to say, well, we didn't know. Yeah, you did. You put it in the teleprompter. You reviewed it. Because you said he couldn't out and out call Kamala Harris a see you next Tuesday. Weak. And now they're out. Oh, he called us garbage. E.T., my man, good to see you. Always here. There are tons of lithium as well as other vital minerals on the Pacific Ocean floor that the Republicans are letting China take control of while they argue over domestic oil. Yeah. Amen. Amen, brother. Amen. That's why you've got to elect Democrats. We're the only ones that look at these things and make it happen. Make it happen. Former Republican here. Thanks for all you do. Glad to have you, Sherry. Glad to have you. I'm telling you, I know more people that wear that label, that Republican label, that if you talk to them issue to issue, no, you're a conservative Democrat. That's who you are. You're a conservative Democrat. You're not a Republican. They don't let you have your policies. They don't know. You're a conservative Democrat. Who's the only people that balance the budget? Proof in the pudding. Don't talk about it. Do it. Democrats. Who creates jobs? Democrats. Who's better for the economy? By every single measurable metric? Democrats. Yeah, y'all are all conservative Democrats. And turnout. Y'all remember, Donald Trump had a little shindig on the Ellipse. A lot of people don't know what I want to teach you something real quick, okay? Let me share this screen. And I want to show you how to do this. There's a lot of folks here that are not so tech savvy. This is just, I use Chrome. You may use, whatever, Microsoft Edge or whatever. All works the same. Just type in the search box, Google Maps. Hit enter. First thing that's going to come up is Google Maps. Click on it. Now, we're going to talk about the ellipse. I want you to know what the ellipse is. So just type in the search, ellipse. Now, you'll see that it already recognizes it. But let's say it didn't. Type in Washington, D.C. Well, there you go. The ellipse, Washington, D.C. right there. Click on it. Boom. Anything you want to look at in satellite view anywhere. And there it is. There's the ellipse, folks. That when they talk about the ellipse, so that you know where it is, and these next videos I'm about to show you, this is the ellipse. You see the tree lines there. You see this section. You're going to recognize that because that's where they put the stages. The reason they put it here is, ta-da! See, you can't use the White House for political reasons. You can't. It's against the law. But there's nothing that says you can't be right across the street from it and have it as a backdrop. That's why people that can, that's why when Trump was president, he held his big hate rally on the Ellipse. Well, Kamala Harris just held a rally here in the Ellipse. And to give you some idea how, if you haven't been to DC, go. I'm telling you, I cried. I did. When I got to the Capitol, it wasn't that long after January 6th, and you touched those stones. I cried. I cried like a baby. I did. But just to give you some idea, here's the Washington Monument right here. There's the Ellipse, and there's the White House. I mean, they're pretty close to each other. There's Pennsylvania Avenue. The Capitol is right up this way. The end of Pennsylvania, there's the Capitol building. I walked right up these steps. It will inspire you like nothing else. Go to our nation's capital if you have not been. If you haven't been in a while, go again. Nothing will make you feel like a better American. But yes, this is the Ellipse, okay? When they say they had a rally in the Ellipse, that's what they're talking about. Great location, right? This is the crowd going to Kamala Harris's closing rally. They are so brilliant. When we say, Allison Kinsey says, when we say, Madam President, it will be a day of reckoning. Vote. Sally S. says, don't destroy the ocean floor. There are better ways. Amen, brother. I'm with you. Lithium is everywhere, my friend. It is. Tons of it in Afghanistan. Tons of it. Thank you, smart conservative women. Vote blue. Mr. Knudsen, good to see you, my friend. Our friend from Norway's in the house. Jeff Schuler, what do you think about the Snake Bannon being out of prison? Yeah, we're going to talk about that, but not right now. All right, this is leading up to Kamala Harris's rally on the Ellipse. So smart. So freaking smart. I keep telling you, I do the show and I juxtapose them versus us. Them versus us. You saw what those people act like on January 6th. You saw the hateful shirts. You saw everything. These are our people. Okay? The Ellipse overflowed. And the reason I showed you the Washington Monument is they used the Washington Monument as the overflow. Okay? They used the Washington Monument grounds as the overflow because they completely filled the Ellipse. Folks, they initially prepared and expected 20,000 people. They reevaluated that 2 days ago and said, okay, we need to prepare for 50,000 people. And think about that. It's not like the Trump campaign where they just leave people out in the middle of the frickin' desert in California. They actually planned for this stuff. Porta potties for 50,000 people. There's a significant difference in the infrastructure. I love you people. Steve, you know exactly where I'm going with this. Steve McLeod beat me to it. Doggone it, Steve. It's my show. I love you people for that so much. I really do. So they prepared for 50,000 people to have security. You see the mounted officers. You see all of it. They prepared. They do the job. They prepared for 50,000 people. 75,000 people showed up, folks, and this is what it looks like. This was just the crowd moving to the overflow.
I don't think anything.
That's the Treasury building, by the way. I'm telling you, go to DC. It is surreal and amazing and wonderful. It will fill your soul. You get the idea how many people were there? Look at the way look how happy they are. You hear the banter, and these are people in a crowd. Isn't that amazing? I mean, isn't that amazing? Vuff McBastage, thanks for the support, man. On my way to see Kamala in Harrisburg, right down the street from me. All right. She's so smart. She is so smart. They're really closing this campaign strong. They really are. But yeah, this was the overflow crowd at the Washington Monument. The rally itself and speeches was after dark, and you can see the sun setting. This is the overflow. Here, let me pull this up on a separate screen. Open the image in a new tab. Close that. So many good people that I follow on X to get you information. So many good people out there. Isn't that amazing? That's the overflow at the Washington Monument. That's not even the Ellipse. I showed you where the Ellipse was. Isn't that incredible? And no, nobody broke anything. Nobody attacked anybody. It was exciting and happy, and dare I say, joyous. This was the drone footage. This is from Ed Krasenstein. He's one of the people that I just sort of follow on X. I don't really follow him that closely. We don't agree on everything, but he popped up on my For You page with this. This is actually drone footage from the Harris Walls campaign. You'll see there in the upper right-hand corner. I've got to mute it, and I do apologize. This is going to be over a minute of video with no sound because the Harris campaign really put out a cool video, and I really invite you. There's going to be 2 videos I'm going to show you with no sound. I really encourage you, after the show, go to X, find these videos. They're out there. The Harris campaign did an amazing job. The music they put to it is really amazing. If I play the video with the music, YouTube will take this show down. So yeah, we're not doing that. But you can still see the crowd, and it's amazing. Wait for the end, folks. It's a little over a minute-long video. And I'll talk a little bit during it so that it's not so damn boring. But yeah, this is straight out comments. This is drone footage. Remember I showed you where the stage goes, and that's the Ellipse. Remember I showed you the trees that line it? Wait for it. Your jaw's going to drop at the end. So smart of them to use drones to capture this footage so they can actually, that's what you do when you're not afraid of people seeing your actual crowd size is you take aerial footage so that people can see it. 75,000 people. That's 25,000 more people that showed up for Trump on January 6th. Look at this. So you see the Washington Monument? You know what? Let me back it up for just 1 second, okay? I'm sorry. Let me back it up to this. See the Washington Monument? There's this one area that they keep clear because it's right by the street, and the police keep this one area clear. It's necessary so that if they have to get an emergency in and out or anything. I mean, they care about the people that are there. But all of this, yeah, that's that overflow crowd that was at the Washington Monument. Folks, if you've never been here, I'm telling you, you've got to go. You've got to go. If you're planning a vacation sometime in the future and you've never been to DC, go. I cannot tell you how it fills your heart. It does. But yeah, that big ass crowd I just showed you at the Washington Monument, that's all of these people right here. But look at this. Look at the end of it here at the ellipse. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that just incredible? Love it. Absolutely love it, folks. But I'm going to say it one more time because you need to hear it. You need to hear it. Rallies don't win elections. That feeling that you have watching that doesn't win elections. Polls don't win elections. Freedom, LB, freedom. Freedom does not win elections. Votes win elections. I love you people so much. Would you believe that that is the other video I have for you? Votes win elections, and nothing but votes win elections. Nothing but votes win elections. All right, let me find it. I got it here somewhere. But close some of these tabs I don't need anymore. The sphere they're talking about is the largest circular object ever built, is in Las Vegas, and it is really cool. I've got to make sure that, okay, got the sound off. We're good. This is a great commercial. I want you to go to, again, I want you after the show to go to social media, and I want you to watch the same video with the music they have dubbed over it. The Kamala Harris campaign. This is, pardon the expression, this is what fuck you money buys you. When you people support a campaign like you have done, I mean, you're winning this. This is you. You did this. When you have this kind of money, you can do these kind of things. And I got to tell you, this is just amazing. This is the sphere in Las Vegas. How freaking cool is that? It'll be running through the rest of the election. How freaking cool is that? That's at the Venetian in Las Vegas, by the way, if you ever want to go see it in person. They put the coolest stuff up on that thing. But isn't that just amazing? Isn't that just amazing? Yeah, we're doing good in Nevada. We're doing good in Nevada. I promise you. That thing is huge. It is massive. It's the largest spherical object ever built on Earth. And we've had another bit of good news. If you want to, you've got Barbara Bush has come out and endorsed, not only endorsed, she actually met up with Kamala Harris and got out there and wholeheartedly supported her out on the, she'll be out on the ground. She did some door knocking. Yeah, this is George W. Bush's daughter. This is what I want to kind of close up with. I know we're going to go a little long today, and I do apologize for that, but it's my show. We're going to go a little long today. I'm very proud of Barbara Bush for doing this. I am. And you know, you guys know, I have been very hard on Liz Cheney. I have been, because while I give her kudos for stepping up and putting the country before party, I will give her all that credit in the world. Her policies haven't changed. She's still a Republican. Everything that got us here, Liz Cheney was part of and will be part of again in the future. But I'm going to say this about Liz Cheney. She's out here working for the country when Barbara Bush's father won't. She's out here getting it done. And I'll give her that. I will give her credit for that. She is standing up and putting the country before party. Yeah, you people are always so far ahead of me. It is. I love you people so much. I cannot say that enough. Yes, that's one of the things I'm going to talk about is Nikki Haley. You know, Nikki Haley thought she was going to end up in the Trump administration. She thought she was going to get a call. It never came. She is nowhere on the schedule for the rest of the campaign. And her voters are all voting for Kamala Harris. All of them. Not because she's encouraging it, just the opposite. You know, the only thing that Nikki Haley managed to do is say, well, you know, those racist ass comments that you saw at Madison Square Garden, they're not helpful. Woo. Woo. She said, she was asked directly, well, you know, does that mean you're not supporting Trump? Well, I'm supporting the policies, not the man. Ah, go to hell, Nikki Haley. And while people are going to hell, let me tell you something. Mitt Romney was out there running his lips. He was out there running his mouth about how Trump is a bad thing. Will he step up when it matters? Nah, you ain't heard a peep out of Mitt Romney at all. He's a coward. Yeah, exactly, Moose. Exactly, Moose. He is a coward too. You got Liz Cheney out there. You know, Barbara Bush came out. Yeah, good for her. Good for her. She doesn't have a lot on the line. She doesn't. This coward right here, his VP, his daughter, everybody around him has come out and endorsed Kamala Harris and said, look, we can't do this. We can't do the fascism. We just can't. This coward sits mum. And you want to know why? Two reasons. One, speaking fees. Yeah, he gets paid to talk. And he gets paid well. Just like all former Barack Obama gets paid to talk. He makes a boatload of money in speaking fees. Bill Clinton makes a boatload of money in speaking fees. They just do. David, thanks for the support. 100% assessment on Liz. Strange bedfellows. Huh? Yeah. I don't want her in the government. I don't. I am grateful that she is the only person of her stature on the Republican Party that has the bravery. They all know it. But you want to know the other reason that George W. Bush is so quiet? It's this guy right here. George P. He unsuccessfully ran for attorney general here in Texas. They think he's going to be our next governor. They do. He's the next generation of Bushes. He's already in politics here in Texas. That's why George W. Bush cannot open his mouth. Can't bring himself to put the country before party. Because he's trying to pave the way for another generation of Bushes. Not while I'm here. Not happening. They're going to try to run away from all that racist crap, and that's why I told you to watch it. We knew it was going to be. I want to leave you with this. This is why they can't run away from calling the Puerto Rican people garbage and saying the comments that they said about black people carve watermelons on Halloween and what they said about Latinos, because this is Trump.
It's like, I said this, the press gave me a hard time on this one. They said it was very I don't think it's disrespectful. It's like we're a giant garbage can. That's what they.
Yeah. Lori Bianchi, Texas Paul, did you see the video of 45 admitting that they intend to cancel the AC? Yeah. We've talked about it here on the show before. Absolutely. Folks, you have to take them seriously. You have to take them seriously. One bit of bad news that we had, if you're of my age, you know who this is. She was America's sweetheart. We lost Terri Garr yesterday. She was 79 years old. This was my favorite movie she was in. She was in Mr. Mom, the movie that pretty much made Michael Keaton. She just was an amazing actress. And I don't know anybody that any male that is of my generation that didn't have a crush at some point on Terri Garr. And it just tells you how fast time moves on. We lost her yesterday. And it is very, very sad. I want to leave you with this last thing. I want to introduce you to my newest hero. No, I don't. They've identified the car. Farmer James says, any updates on the burning of ballot boxes up the north? They've identified the car, and what I talked about earlier, that the incendiary devices that they put on there said free Gaza. That's the latest we know, and that's all we know at this point. Thank you for the support, Eric. I appreciate you. This is my newest hero, and I want to leave you with this. Tell me this doesn't inspire you. This is Connie Kawaku. She came across my feed. Somebody shared this story, and I'll just read it for you. 3 weeks ago, I had a bone from my left jaw removed and replaced with a bone from my leg. You can see the cast where she had the leg surgery. Or my left leg. I have a tracheotomy. I'm on oxygen and a feeding tube. I was released from the hospital on Friday afternoon. I voted in Texas yesterday because I understand the assignment. I do not know why this chokes me up so bad. Because I understand the assignment, and I hope you do too. Let's turn Texas blue. Tell me that doesn't inspire you. Tell me that doesn't inspire you. Thank you for the support, Sharon. Thank you for the support, Eric. I appreciate you. I really do. I don't know why that chokes me up so bad, but it does. It's amazing. And there's so many stories out there about that. People that have never, I have heard, I didn't know how much of a thing this was. You know, that's one thing that you can say for Trump. I didn't understand what a racist country we were. I didn't. Grew up in my own insulated world. And he shined the light on those cockroaches and told them, come out of the dark. Michael Thomas, thanks for the support. Adding to Ride or Die Democrats, tell it like it is, and go far and wide in support of freedom. Thanks, Texas Paul, for being ahead of the news and leading the way. Hey, that's what I do. That's my job. That's what you pay me to do. That's what you people are paying for when you fund the show. I just love that we always get it. Like a week later, 2 weeks later, the corporate media will be talking about what we were just talking about. Amazing, isn't she? Connie Kawaku, right here in Texas. If she can she's on oxygen and a feeding tube, folks. If she can get there and get it done for the country, so can you. So I want some of you to call yourselves out. How many of you in the audience are waiting for Election Day to vote? You're going to vote on November 5th. Let me hear it. Let me see it. I know a lot of you already voted. You did the smart thing and you voted early. I want to know the ones that are out there that are going to vote on Election Day. Love you people. Look at all the people that voted already. Where I'm going with this is this, folks. If Connie can get down there and get it done for the American people, for the country to make sure that we have a democracy, you darn well can make sure. I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens. You have your voting plan. You make your voting plan and you get it done. You get it done. I will say it one last time. If you are a blue dot in a red area and you are thinking about not voting, no, yours is the most important vote because the Republicans rely on those big margins in rural areas. And if you show up and vote, you deny them those margins. If you vote, we win. The rallies are great, fantastic. They don't win election, votes win. The polls that are showing Kamala Harris out of the margin of error and leading, great, wonderful. Polls don't win elections, votes do. Let's get it done, folks. Let's get it done. Colleen Sarah was going to wait, but decided to wait in line for hours on Monday. Damn, it felt good afterward. Yeah, me too. I love that. All right, folks. Matthew Preble, I voted the same day you did here in Ohio. Fantastic, my friend. Fantastic. That's what I have for you today. My people, I love you very much. We're under a week. Let's get this done. If you've already voted, get somebody else down there to vote. I'm still working on I understand your feels about Gaza. I do. I get it. The Palestinian people really need somebody that's not Hamas fighting for them. I get it. Voting for Jill Stein is not the way. It is not the way. You're just hurting them if you do that. Sharon Reddy, the bank says I was a good girl this month. I'm treating me. This is my field. Lichtman's method is more modern than polls. I'm the social future. She's talking about Lichtman is a guy that's called every election. He gets it right every time. He says Kamala Harris is going to win. I've got a real good record. The win is going to blow everyone away at the polls. I hope you are correct. I've got that feeling too, but we can't get complacent. Got to keep your foot on the gas. We cannot let the loonies take over our freedom and destroy what the U.S. stands for. Amen. Amen. I appreciate you folks. Y'all have a wonderful day and enjoy some Texas cities at night.